Let's talk about text formatting. Basically, that means bolding words, italicizing words, or even underlining words. This is a little bit more complicated, so I'm going to break it down. As you can see here, it starts with the span tag. We have span style equals quotation, and within the quotation, you pretty much have all the formatting. Then, of course, you close that span tag off right here. As you read it, it will make more sense. So, font weights. Think about weights as analogy of how heavy or light something is. If you think about bold and how you bold a letter, if you were to be able to measure the weight of a letter and you bold it, you make the font weight bold. What I'm trying to do here is give you some analogies that would make sense. It doesn't necessarily have to be the case, but these are things that I use in my own brain to memorize these things. So, font weight equals bold font style. We have different stylized fonts. We have italicized. We have other different styles. And then we have text decoration. You could decorate the text with an underline. It would make more sense if we go back over to Composer here. Like I said in the beginning, I would recommend you do a step and take a look at the source code. Then do a step and take a look at the source code again. What I mean by that is bold the word. Then look at the source code and see what changes before you do anything else. Then go back, italicize it, and see what changed. What I would do from that point would be trying to memorize that. Now, if I were you, I wouldn't really go all out. I would just memorize the basics: bold, italicize, and underline. Those are the main things that you're going to use. If you get all fancy, that's fine. But go into your HTML editor and just copy and paste the code into the editor. If we go back here, right now the hello tag, or the hello word, has nothing around it except for break tags and the basic structure. If I go to normal and I make it a larger font size, then go back to source, we can see that the only change is that there is a big tag surrounding it. Now, let's make it bold. We'll start from scratch. Say, hello, this is a test. We'll just make it bold. And let's see what happens. So, if we go back to the source, we can see that it says span style quotation quotation, and it says font weight bold. That's all it says. We have to memorize this right here. That's all you have to memorize. Span style quotation quotation. Within that, it's font dash weight colon space bold. Okay? Now, let's remove the bold, and let's just make it italicized. If you click on source and you take a look at it, it says span style quotation font dash style colon space italic. So, you're basically saying the font style is italic, and then you put a semicolon right here if you want to add more, such as something like font dash weight colon bold. We could do that as well. We can see that it has bold and italicize. If we add an underline, when we click on source, we can see that text decoration. It's text dash decoration colon space underline. The semicolon, as you can see, kind of separates the differences. We have 3 different items here, and you can see that after this, we put a semicolon to say that we're separating this and this. So this is a new item. We have a semicolon and then a new item. That's what I recommend that you do. There's a lot of other different formatting if you want to learn. If we uncheck all of these, go up to the top, and click on Format, you can see that Composer gives you a lot more options, such as font, different types of font, sizes, and different types of sizes. You have text style. Besides bold, italicized, and underline, you have a strike-through, superscripts, subscript, and other types of text styles. But the majority of the time, you're going to use these 3. You're rarely going to use all of these other ones, so that's why I wanted to show you this. Then, of course, you have text colors. If we stick with the simplicity and we just change this to, say, a red, you can see that the span style says color-red. HTML, as you can see, is one of the easiest languages because what you see is what you get. When you say like color red, it's pretty obvious that the color is red. So if you wanted to hack HTML code and you had a bunch of code, You could literally go through it and figure out what it is about simply by learning these basics that I'm teaching you in this video course, and then just testing it out yourself by trial and error. Remember, at the end of the day, a lot of this stuff will only stick in your mind if you practice. So, with that said, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let's move on to the next video.